You're watching the Western Athletic Conference on ESPN. Welcome to a Saturday night in Abilene, Texas, and a phenomenal matchup to wrap up the weekend. It's men's action, Southern Utah and Abilene Christian. And now welcome courtside, everybody. Zach Carlisle with Joseph Chapa. I love this matchup. First ever meeting between Southern Utah and Abilene Christian, and it is two teams that are very different in how they play.
Zach, it's going to come down to which style of play is going to have the upper hand here tonight. Southern Utah likes to get up and down the floor, shoot threes. One of the best offensive teams in the country, ACU, likes to turn you over, can block your shots, and is a great defense.
Well, let's take a look at our impact players. And Tevion Jones, a big part of what Southern Utah does. Tobias Cameron playing well for Abilene Christian.
Two big backcourt players, again, having a big slice of the pie offensively and also very efficient as well from mid-range, inside, and behind the perimeter. Look for these two guards to have the upper hand in the usage rate and to run their offense through them in the mid-range and throughout the perimeter.
Well, those two are going to play a big part in this, and so many others as well. The #1 offense in the country in Southern Utah, one of the great defenses in the WAC in Abilene Christian. Let's do this on a Saturday night. ACU controls the tip. Off we go from Abilene, Texas. Wildcats starting five. Damian Daniels, he's got it. Here's Joe Pleasant, number 32. You got Hunter Jack Madden, Ali Deba, and Emmanuel Allen as well. It's been the third straight game with this lineup for the Wildcats. Allen, a little bit of contact inside, unable to score it. There's a height disadvantage tonight. We'll get to that in a little bit. Southern Utah starters, Drake Allen, number 3. Mason Fawcett is number 12. Jason Spurgeon at 6'11", number 14 inside. Harrison Butler, number 15, and then we talked about Tevion Jones, number 55. Is the guard. It's a turnover on Southern Utah to get it started, to travel right there on Allen.
And we've said this all season long for the past seasons as well, Zach. ACU forcing turnovers, that's their defensive identity. They are going to need that and then some to beat this great Thunderbirds team.
Joe Pleasant to work inside, unable to convert it. Southern Utah is huge. It's a big lineup with a lot of height, 6'7", 6'8", 6'11". You got the 6'7" Jones, who is a guard. That's Butler inside for the game's first basket. Hunter Jack Madden will launch the three. Southern Utah, it's contrasting styles tonight, as it was for them Thursday. Well, look at Jones turning the corner and scoring. Quick 4-0 start. It's what they got into on Thursday night. They lost a low-scoring game at Tarleton, 68-65. ACU wants to muddy it up like that tonight as well, because if this thing gets into a shootout, no one's better at scoring than Southern Utah.
You're absolutely right, Zach, and not just in the conference, but in the country.
Allen for 3. Abilene Christian has one from the outside. They may need to shoot it well tonight.
They may need to, and in order to do that, it's moving the basketball well. The Wildcats stand 3rd in the WAC in assists. Look for them to move the basketball, especially in the half-court setting.
Butler scored on the opening possession. Jones, 19 points per game this year. Already has an early lay-in. Here comes Daniels in transition. Tough look. The 6'11" Spurgeon with a rebound.
And those transition finishes for Damian Daniels that he usually makes is going to be really hard amongst the trees down low in the Southern Utah paint.
Loose ball squirts out to Butler. Now Jones, oh, what a find and a finish for Spurgeon.
We're already seeing the size factor play into account, even though it's way early on, just picking the matchups between ACU.
This starting lineup is 6'4", 6'6", 6'11", 6'5", and 6'7". Abilene Christian, typically one of the smaller teams, and not just the WAC, but in the country.
It'll stay with ACU.
Let's go back to the Abilene Christian 3 for Allen.
Well, Damian Daniels does a great job of just kicking it back out to Hunter Jack Madden. Emmanuel Allen there in the corner. Lightly contested shot, but Emmanuel Allen's had a really good and efficient season, averaging double digits for his Wildcats this year, so they're going to need a lot of him tonight.
Inside Daniels, no. Cameron Steele off the bench and into the scoring column. The junior out of Minnesota.
Another player for ACU who's going to have a big game is Cameron Steele because of his size. We see it there, play into account on the defensive end on help side.
Yeah, he's 6'8". It just gives them length. Diva, no. Out of bounds it goes to Southern Utah.
Out of bounds on the Wildcats, it'll be Thunderbirds ball.
More subs for ACU and more height. You mentioned Tobias Cameron in the open. He's coming in, as is Arion Simmons for Abilene Christian. He averages about 10 points per game.
And we've heard Coach Brett Tanner say during press conferences, the Brett Tanner show, and really just throughout the season, that he has a lot of lineups in place based on the matchup going up against one of the tallest teams in the country, and we're seeing the adjustment here.
Baseline little one-hander from Jason Spurgeon is no good. Number 2, Jayshon Jackson is into the game for ACU as well. Back and forth start of the game's first 4 minutes. Southern Utah, 88 points a game. Here's Cameron, off the bench, no good. The Thunderbirds are #1 in the country, tied with James Madison for the most points in all of college basketball per game this season.
When was the last time the #1 scoring offense in the nation came to Moody Coliseum? ACU getting their first taste of that.
Fun to see it against a top 30 scoring defense in the country, and Abilene Christian under 70 a game.
And a program which last season led the nation in the turnover margin and was second in steals per game. So a lot to look forward to if you're a big X's and O's fan.
Simmons deep on the block. Now Southern Utah an opportunity. First-year members of the WAC. Turn it over. Daniels got his hand on it. Can they run? There he goes, the little guy. It's transition. ACU in front for the first time.
I don't know what was more impressive, that steal going up against a significantly taller defender or that crafty finish. I mean, Damian Daniels, the leadership that he provides at the point guard position for Coach Tanner's squad.
Foul at this end, and it takes us to a timeout. We've gone back and forth so far. Abilene Christian with an early 1-point lead, just getting started. This is going to be a fun night in Abilene, Texas. Time now for our keys to the game, brought to you by your Greater Texas Ford dealers. Joseph.
Zach, it's a given for Southern Utah to run their offense through their superstar guard in Jones, averaging 19 points per game this season. That is a gimme, and seeing transition threes we've seen all season long. What flusters ACU is those transition threes to get them down. And of course for ACU, no careless fouls, and we talk about the defensive intangibles. They want to turn you over, and already 3 turnovers for Southern Utah. They're off to a great start.
ACU won the first 4 minutes and took 7 more shot attempts than the Thunderbirds. That 3 no good from Butler. The putback, no. And it's out of bounds to ACU. Couple of chances there for Southern Utah. They were unable to finish it. But so far the style of play seems to favor Abilene Christian.
It does, and especially we saw there just crashing the glass. It's not just 2, it's not just 3, it's at least 4 because of the trees in the paint. You do not want Southern Utah to rack up those second chance points.
Cameron Steele. This could be a big game for him. That's a huge 3. He's got 5 already off the bench.
Just finding that early spark at his size at 6'8". Again, he can get it done inside, but also being able to space the floor as a stretch forward for Coach Tanner's squad.
Just to have somebody in there at 6'8" really makes an impact. 10 on the timer. Into the paint, the finish for Mason Fawcett. It's an and one, chance for 3.
The foul call by Arion Simmons. That's his second of the game. Team foul number 2 on the Wildcats.
There we go, passing out that double team. Simmons trying to contest the shot, but Fawcett just a bigger and better layup there. The 6'6" senior forward getting it done.
2 fouls on Simmons, who came off the bench here in this first half, so he's going to leave the game for Abilene Christian. And the left-hander Fawcett no good on the potential three-point play. And here comes Abilene Christian. ACU off of a win last Saturday here against Tarleton in a very low-scoring dogfight type of game, 69-63. And then they were off for the midweek bye here in week 2. So this is their first game in a week. Southern Utah, meanwhile, playing at Tarleton on Thursday night, losing a low-scoring game, 68-65.
And that's what ACU specializes in is, you know, Coach Tanner says that the best is street fights, you know, these dog fights, these mano-y-mano type of contests, and we'll see what they have here.
Hunter Jack Madden trying to turn around. Parsa follows in there defensively, number 22 in black and red. Jones, an opportunity on the baseline. He'll finish that.
And even with great fundamental defense, Hunter Jack Madden just staying grounded with his arms up. Jones is just such a prolific scorer.
Oh, loose ball trying to get it to steal. Here comes Allen in transition. Allen for ACU got up in the air. Late whistle now. We're going to get Tobias Cameron for a foul for ACU. There's Brett Tanner, second-year head coach for the Wildcats. Twice as many wins as losses. Took over after being the associate head coach for 6 years. 10th total year at Abilene Christian, was the assistant, the associate head, and now the head guy. Unclear as to what they exactly got on Tobias Cameron there. I think they're going over to clarify it. The whistle it sort of came after the shot attempt. It looked, I don't know if it's only the 3rd foul on ACU. And it's a shooting foul. So they are now changing the foul from Cameron to number 25, Emmanuel Allen. So Allen fouls Fala, and Fala's at the line for a pair.
And after Fala tried to lay the ball up before getting to the foul line, you know, we saw Emmanuel Allen touch the backboard and show off his vertical, but maybe the referee saw something there. Very clustered, but nonetheless, ACU has to be careful with those careless fouls.
Parsifala misses both. The red shirt freshman. Steele. Boy, he's hot early, isn't he? Cameron Steele with 8 from his second 3, should say, in the game.
And at the same spot, too, finding his hot zone, getting his work done early. Just a great start by Cameron Steele.
Back and forth we go. Now on the move, Drake Allen for Southern Utah. Some good athletes. Out of bounds off of Tobias Cameron. And kind of the thought we had with Southern Utah, they want to use speed too. Not only do they want to score a lot of points, they want to get up and down the floor. Abilene Christian does, but they want to start on the defensive end and not start on the offensive side of the ball.
Absolutely. It takes a lot of stamina to play the way ACU does defensively, and again, that translates offensively as well, especially fast break where Southern Utah makes some of their money out of.
This feels like the sneaky good game of the night here in January. Ali Diva! Defense to offense. We just talked about it.
The statement dunk. They just must be listening to our broadcast, my friend. And again, ACU is going to need every single one of those opportunities to capitalize on their mistakes.
Off Butler. ACU by 3. There's Diva flying high. Abilene Christian in front by 3 as we're inching closer to the halfway point of this first half. It's been a good back and forth battle for sure. And there's Todd Simon, who is in his 7th year as the head coach of Southern Utah. Talk about what he's done, especially as of late. 43 wins in each of the last 2 seasons, 53 if you count this year. He's doing some good things with Southern Utah.
A very well experienced coach and has developed NBA products as well. So Southern Utah's got a great head coach in their hands.
A foul at this end.
Now calling the Thunderbirds number 12,
Mason Fawcett,
That's his first of the game.
senior out of Saratoga Springs, Utah, number 12. Just a second foul on Southern Utah in this first half. ACU 35% shooting, but they've taken 6 more shot attempts than Southern Utah. And a big part of it actually has been Cameron Steele with 8 points off the bench for the Wildcats. Joe Pleasant trying to create. Gets it back from Daniels and a reach in. Butler got his hand in there with just 2 on the shot clock.
That might have been a smart foul by Butler there. Again, Damian Daniels, Joe Pleasant working the screen and roll game. Looked like Pleasant had a great look at the rim and just not giving up an easy bucket, but committing the foul.
So a fresh 20 after the foul to reset the shot clock. Ali Diba, rise and fire, no. Drake Allen with the rebound. But the Thunderbirds are unable to just sprint up the floor right now and get going offensively. Here comes Jones. Baseline, no. Tough look there for Tevian Jones. Joe Pleasant lines one up, well short. Gonna reach in on Diba at this end.
And that's what challenges you as an offensive team for Southern Utah, knowing that you are the best scoring offense in the country, that, okay, transition, you can take that away. Even though you want to score fast and up-tempo in the fast break, ACU is not allowing you that. So now you got to get into your play sheet in the half-court offense, and that's where your stars shine, like Jones and Fawcett of the world. So let's see what they can do here against a great defense.
Baseline spin, it's Fala. Kept his footing in and he's able to convert it.
Excellent footwork right there. I mean, you can't get any more textbook than that, Zach.
Allen ready to line one up. A career 40% three-point shooter is Emmanuel Allen, a redshirt senior out of Phoenix. Turning, that might be a steal. No, it's a jump ball. And the arrow will stay at this end with the Thunderbirds.
Again, the aggression that ACU is playing with when they're catching it in the post. Double teaming, Pleasant calling for the help there with his arms up. But again, these little things that ACU is just trying to create turnovers for Southern Utah, who, for an ACU team that needs points, who hasn't scored in the last 2 minutes.
Feels like Ali Diba's really coming into his own. Abilene Christian, they've started to insert him into the starting lineup. Number 20 in gray. He has really made a difference, especially as of late. Cameron Healy, number 10, into the game for the Thunderbirds. 7 on the timer. Diba got his hand in there again. Transition chance. Well, that was all Ali Diba on that possession, but he couldn't finish it.
And the impact that he has, not only offensively, averaging 15 points per game in conference play thus far, but also defensively, we're seeing it here with the ball poked loose.
Well, you can look at the scoring for Diba. 3 straight double digits, 5 of the last 7 in double digits, but his minutes are going up. 20, 25, 26 the last 2 games. It's the way that he has played, has just really played himself into more time. It's a foul on Diba.
That's his second of the game.
He's got 2, and it'll be free throws coming for the Thunderbirds.
Another player for Coach Tanner, Diba and Arion Simmons, both with 2 fouls each. You got to look at your bench, look at your sub patterns, and say, okay, this is how I'm going to play my cards, not get them another third.
Entering for the Thunderbirds, number
Well, Joseph, I'll pose this question
D.
your way.
And entering for the
The height
Wildcats,
difference is pretty clear.
Douglas.
It really is. Even at the guard spot, you talk about Tevian Jones. He's a 6'7" guard who can handle it really from the top of the key for Southern Utah. I'm curious to see how ACU handles that. I feel like they're doing a good job so far, but this could get really tricky when you got Diba, Simmons, both in foul trouble right now.
And it's just locking in on the defensive fundamentals of ACU. They like to double team in the post, they like to dig, and what that essentially means is a post player catches it, you just stop them from dribbling the basketball. So doing those little things, those things can rack up for more turnovers for Southern Utah.
Got a bump on the baseline on Fawcett.
That's his third of the game.
Would have opened up a corner 3 for Steele, who's really feeling it
Entering
right
for
now.
Southern Utah, number 3, Drake Allen.
Southern Utah, the last decade in the Big Sky Conference, year 1 as members of the WAC. First ever meeting between these two schools tonight. 5 to shoot it, it's Daniels. Allen's gonna have to go, step back variety. Steele, look at this, is he's gonna shoot 2. Yeah, that's a shooting foul. What an effort for Steele.
The awareness that Steele has to grab his 3rd rebound. Again, nice step back from Allen, but an even better offensive rebound by Steele. Just hustling and bustling. A trip to the foul line to potentially enter the double-digit column for Cameron Steele here tonight.
And he asked, is that a shooting foul? Sure enough, he grabbed it, got rid of it. Free throws here, Steele already inching towards 10 points.
Jackson.
Back in for Southern Utah, the 6'11", Jason Spurgeon. Meanwhile, Steele's already got 10. Ten points in 6 minutes for Steele. Gives up 3 inches here, foul on Steele.
Called on the Wildcats on number 5.
That's his first.
Steele. That's his first.
That's someone you do not want in foul trouble. If you're Coach Tanner or anyone on the ACU bench is off to a hot start, perfect start, you want to keep him on the floor as long as possible.
Back in the spin, and that's a travel on Spurgeon. Abilene Christian in front by 3. 2-minute scoring drought for Southern Utah. First half action.
I always dreamed of doing something that would make a difference, and so getting as much knowledge as possible was important to me. I love the fact that you can dream a new reality and then see it come true with hard work. Today, I know I'm making a difference, and a big part of seeing my dream come true was when I got my master's at ACU.
Get your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian.
For years, I trained to be the best linebacker on the field. That drive made me a top performer at the NFL Combine, and I played 5 seasons in the NFL. Now I'm working toward another dream, building my own business, training athletes to help improve their performance. I want to be the best businessman I can, so I'm getting my MBA at ACU.
Get your degree online at acu.edu.
Tuesday Tuesdays on ESPN Plus, get in-depth coverage of all things Abilene Christian men's basketball. It's the Brett Tanner Show, presented by ACUTV, every Tuesday at noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central on ESPN Plus and the ESPN app. Brett Tanner looks on as his Wildcats have a 3-point lead. Joseph, your observations so far, ACU in front by 3.
I just see number 5 and number 5 and number 5. I mean, a perfect game so far as he hoists another 3. Commentator's curse, man. I'm sorry, Cam Steele, but again, just staying consistent with him and moving the basketball has been a good sign of success for ACU.
You're right, though. He's been spectacular. His first miss, 10 points in 7 minutes. But Abilene Christian dictating the style of the game so far. That's how you win tonight. That 3, no good for Healy. It's what got Southern Utah into trouble Thursday at Tarleton. They could not break away and get it up tempo. Here goes Cameron. Extra step, no good. Into the corner, there's that kind of execution on getting up and down the floor. Spurgeon tried to bounce it, got taken from him. I mean, at 6'11", that takes a while for the ball to get down to the floor and back up. And
the discipline for Tobias Cameron to go help Cameron steal out, poke the ball loose. I mean, forcing steals has been great.
Nice cut by Cameron.
And again, the awareness that this team has on both ends, just filling the spots on the floor defensively. ACU runs a typical motion offense, but just getting to the spots on the floor where they can create high efficient shots. That's working out here in the first half.
A 5-point Abilene Christian lead. And a crash into the scorer's table for Healy. It's a turnover, and that's a goaltend. Jackson, or well, no, Daniels, yeah. Daniels will get the basket on the goaltend.
Simple 2-on-1 scenario. Daniels doing what he does best, finishing at the rim, and again, as a shot blocker for Southern Utah, Jason Spurgeon and the crew as well. You know that you are significantly bigger and taller and longer than the Wildcats. You got to avoid those scenarios for those easy buckets. So that's a pick your poison type of thing. There's pros and cons to being the tallest team here tonight.
As soon as it came off the backboard, that's a goaltend on Spurgeon. So Daniels gets it. ACU with its largest lead of 7. Seeley, left hand, tough. Challenging angle there.
And that breaks the 4-minute scoring drought for Southern Utah.
How does Daniels do that? He's done that for years. Weird angles, contorting his body. I mean, it's just crazy.
I mean, just being a crafty finisher, and as well, that's where he hangs his hat on, but also stealing the basketball as well.
I mean, he's been the smallest guy on the floor for 5 years now at ACU. He's never gonna. And he just does things. I mean, that's a 6'11" defender.
Yeah. I mean, just reading the angles and you know, especially driving to the rim, using the backboard as your friend. I mean, I think it shows you, Zach, the impact Isaiah Thomas, the modern Isaiah Thomas, has had on the game of basketball. I mean, it's just beautiful and fun to watch for Damian Daniels, the smallest guy on the court, to have such an impact against a tall and lengthy Southern Utah team.
He gets up in the air as long as he possibly can before he extends that arm out. It's really, really impressive. Here is Martell Williams at the line, the redshirt freshman out of Las Vegas. Think about it, he played 2 years ago in 9 games. That was the COVID 2020-21 season. So that's a free year.
Yeah.
Then he got injured in the first game last year and took a medical redshirt. So it's just really the first season for Williams. The redshirt freshman playing about 10 minutes a game. He's going to continue to grow in this program. 5-point game, steal, extra step away. And a rebound to Williams.
And AC is doing a great job at getting back defensively, avoiding these transition points, and maintaining the control of the tempo like you alluded to earlier.
Fast break, none for Southern Utah tonight. Strip, they got it back out. It's D. Barnes, his 3 is offline. Transition look now for the Wildcats. That is a block on the baseline. Cameron kind of put that shoulder down and the contact with Barnes.
Attacking the baseline there, off the behind the back move. And again, great call right there from the referees and from Tobias Cameron, our impact player of the night, just using his body, his frame, 6'5", as a combo guard slash forward. I mean, you can put him anywhere on the floor if you're Coach Tanner and the coaching staff, so look for him to have an even bigger role as the first half closes, getting to his spots on the floor, and now drawing contact for a trip to the foul line.
Bonus the rest of the way for each side. Tobias Cameron, grad student, last year of eligibility. Gold Coast, Queensland, Australia, New Zealand. He has had himself a career, 128th game played tonight.
1,000 career wins with ACU, and he's the team's leading rebounder at 5 rebounds a game this season. At a combo forward position at 6'5", says a lot about his work ethic.
Turnover. So Southern Utah, 18 points. They're shooting at almost 50%. But just 18 points, 10 first half turnovers, and it's turned into that low-scoring slugfest, which is what they did not want to have happen tonight.
Absolutely, and again, if you're a coach and you say, okay, I usually can control the pace and tempo of the game, I hold all the cards and the marbles, but in this game I do not, I mean, that says a lot. That fires the sirens, and ACU is just doing a great job of just maintaining control.
Arion Simmons offline. Go the Thunderbirds, offensive foul. It's on Williams. Timeout on the floor. It's been Abilene Christian as of late. They got a 7-point lead at home as you look at the interior of Mooney. Under 4 to go until halftime. Look at that artwork. 53-52. Pretty memorable night in Abilene Christian history. 2 seasons ago, I should say, beating Texas in the NCAA tournament.
Man, I remember that night like it was yesterday. I mean, I remember the date to the T, March 19, 2021. That's how historic it is for this ACU team.
Here is Pleasant, right on cue, right? He'll kick it out for Allen. There's a 3. ACU has 4 of them. Meanwhile, Southern Utah 0 for 6 from downtown.
Allen's second triple of the night, 42% shooter from behind the arc. Feed him and steal the basketball to generate more looks.
Little fade away from Harrison Butler. I'm telling you, these Thunderbirds look out of sorts right now. Top offense in the country. 88 points a game. Here's Simmons, well off. Let's go back to the Allen 3.
Joe Pleasant just doing a great job at hearing Emmanuel Allen. You can imagine Emmanuel Allen saying, hey, I'm right here behind you in the right side corner. Emmanuel Allen does a great job at sinking the triple. And to your point, Zach, about Southern Utah, they're just not used to not having their way. We're seeing it here on both ends, especially in the screen and roll game. They're not used to facing this aggressive and tenacious ACU defense.
10-point deficit for the Thunderbirds. Defender goes down, that is Allen, and turning around is Butler for the 2. Ended another 2.5-minute scoring drought. Thought Hunter Jack Madden would take it, he will, and now it's deep off the backboard. Well, a second look. Trying to cash that one home. 0 for 2, and this is a foul on the rebound, and free throws are coming.
5 offensive rebounds for ACU. Look at the second chance points. That's 7 for ACU, 0 for Southern Utah. You would think it'd be the other way around for a team that lacks size here tonight, but ACU is doing a great job at being gritty, being tough, having a high motor. These are the things that Coach Tanner and the crew looks for. They're getting it done here tonight. Just got to stay consistent.
So now you swing things to this end of the floor, right? So Southern Utah, they come in, they average about 25 three-point attempts per game. That is 3rd in the league and top 60 in the country. In terms of three-pointers made per game, they make 8 per game. 0 for 6. They are not really spreading the floor and able to figure this end of the floor out when they have it on offense.
And for ACU, you have to keep it that way because, I mean, again, we know that Southern Utah transition threes, running those pin down actions for guys like Jones to hit those perimeter jump shots. For Southern Utah, trying your best to spread the basketball around as much as possible to slow down this ACU tough defense.
Two-minute mark of the first half. Jay-Sean Jackson, number 2. Backup point guard, both point guards on the floor. Here's Steele. And his pass is picked off. Tevian Jones. He will get up ahead for the flush. 2-man game, him and Allen.
Tevian Jones working in the passing lanes. And that's one way to sharpen up defensively, put the pressure on ACU to make quicker decisions and crisper passes.
Here come the Thunderbirds now, back to a 4-point game. Allen hesitates. Nothing in the corner. Abilene Christian has attempted 14 more shots than Southern Utah in this first half. Is it a foul first? It's a foul on the floor on ACU. Let's go back to the Jones dunk in transition.
Well, it started off with steal, and again, 2-on-1 scenario. Every basketball team in the nation practices that every day, using his 6'7" frame, his athletic frame. I mean, that is tough to do, man, in transition. Dunk it all the time, and he gets a trip to the foul line. Already 6 points on the night so far.
Tevian Jones, 3rd year at Southern Utah. Transferred from Illinois in 2020, where he spent a few years there. Talking 1,100 points in his time at Southern Utah alone. 300 rebounds. I mean, he's just been absolutely incredible. 6 points in this first half. Jackson for 3, no good. It's out of bounds to the Thunderbirds. Final 51.5 seconds. Timeout called by Brett Tanner, the use it or lose it timeout for ACU. And so, an entertaining first half so far. Abilene Christian in front by 4, and I think a lot to like about the way ACU has played. They've kind of dictated the way this was going to go, and they've got a 4-point lead so far.
ACU just doing a great job of doing the little things correctly. You hear it all the time in an ACU broadcast. Well, it's very true. That's who they are as a ball club, and now we're seeing Southern Utah. We hear the footsteps coming. I mean, we can hear it with these headphones. That's how good Southern Utah is for ACU right now. 51.6 seconds left. No matter what you do, take care of the basketball. It will take care of you, and go into the second half with the momentum in the cards.
We have a foul at this end.
Offensive foul.
It's on Drake Allen, number 3.
Drake Allen.
That goes down as a turnover. That's 12 first-half turnovers for Southern Utah.
Again, capitalizing on your team's weakness for Southern Utah. You can see the frustration with them knowing that they're not having their way on both ends. Again, granted, they're only down by 4, but just the style and the flair and the tempo of the game that you're playing with is so different and foreign to Southern Utah.
Daniels tried to go on the right side there. That was an interesting choice.
Foul called on the Wildcats on number 1, Damian Daniels.
And then that miss, and then the
That's his
foul.
first of the game, team foul number 10.
It was,
The Birds in the double bonus for the remainder of the first
so
half.
this will be free throws at this end
At the
for
line shooting 2,
Martell
number 33, Martell
Williams.
Williams.
Just that decision by Daniels. It looked like he had a lot of space on that left side. Decided to go right. The miss, and then here's the foul, and first free throw on the way. Let's go back to the play.
Again, off of the dribble handoff, and you're absolutely right. That's clear as day. A lot of room. Could have made that shot on the left hand, but just trying to be a little flashy with it. And to be honest, I don't blame him. I would definitely shoot it like that if I was Damian Daniels, showing off his quickness, his craftiness, his cleverness to be able to finish amongst the trees like that. Having a conversation with Coach Tanner and the coaching staff and the people on the bench saying, hey, I could have had that easy bucket. We could have been up. We could have had 30 points, but one of those things that you got to look back in.
Checking out the clock or the officials right now to make sure that's correct. Right now, 33.7. Let's see if they change it. Looks like they will. Do they need to change the shot clock? No, they're going to change game clock. 34.2, so 3 seconds less. Get you that much closer to the ESPN halftime report. Makes it well, after that miss, still a 3-point game. One more note on Southern Utah into turnovers. They have 12 in the first half. They average 13 for the game per this season. They are only turning it over 13 times each night. 12 in this first half, and now another clock malfunction. They got to get that corrected. So ACU will be able to inbound it, but there should still be a shot clock. It's been turned off, but I think that will get switched because there would have been about a 4-second difference or so. So if the game clock's at 23, it should be around 19 or 18.
We just love technology, don't we, man? I mean, when it's a malfunction or an error and it causes these two teams to huddle up, it's almost like an uncalled timeout. Both of these teams to catch their breath and regroup, and 23.2 seconds. You're down by 3 if you're the Thunderbirds. You can make a big statement here in the first half, either defensively or offensively for ACU. Just take your time, go into the second half with all the momentum. That's what you want here against the best scoring offense in the nation.
So they'll try to sort that out. Entertaining first half. I kind of alluded to it. I didn't get a chance to elaborate. There's a lot of good matchups today, right? Grand Canyon, Stephen F. Austin, spectacular game. There's some really, really good games around this league. This one's one of the sneaky great ones, though, because of the contrasting styles. Southern Utah scores 1 million points. ACU, a good defensive team. I really liked this one. I had this one circled when the schedule came out before the season started.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, especially if you love X's and O's. I mean, how different are these two styles?
Crazy.
These are not two similar teams who can get up and down the floor and score 90, 100 points. No, it's a very, very great defense who over the years, we saw a shot of Joe Pleasant's free throw against UT Austin in the March Madness victory. Those type of things that the reputation ACU has as one of the best defenses in the nation against the best scoring offense in the nation. I mean, this is just the mid-major matchup to be. And to your point about the other games in the WAC, it just speaks to the greatness and the up-and-coming great matchups and teams in the Western Athletic Conference.
Final seconds. Abilene Christian, meanwhile, has not scored in over 3 minutes here to close the half. 5 on the timer, under 10. It is up and no good, but a foul. And so Emmanuel Allen with 7 seconds will get a chance at a couple. It's the foul on Jason Spurgeon.
That's his first of the game. Team foul number 10. At the line, Emmanuel
So Allen to the line for a pair to close out the half.
That might be a point of emphasis coming out of halftime for ACU. You know, with these 2 attempts, it would be 6 attempts for ACU at the charity stripe. Getting to the foul line more, putting the pressure on Southern Utah to commit those fouls or not. And, you know, for Southern Utah, they've already got 12 attempts from the free throw line. ACU has got to do a better job at not committing those careless fouls.
Up by 4, a chance to go up 5. It's a 5-point lead. Abilene Christian is 7-0 this year when they lead at the half. Timeout, 4 seconds as they got it into the front court. They use it or lose it, meaning both teams get 4 timeouts for the game. You can only take 3 with you to the second half. So you can either use it or you're going to lose it anyway. And so the Thunderbirds will draw up 1 more play here to try to get closer before halftime.
If you're a coach, how could you not use that timeout? You know, in the grand scheme of things, it might be like, it's 4.1 seconds left. What can happen? Well, a lot can happen. You're making a statement heading into halftime. I mean, potentially, if they make a 3, that would mean a lot.
Well, we saw a women's game earlier today where there was a buzzer beater at the end of the first quarter,
Back to
and
back.
at the end of the second quarter, and a shot made with 3 seconds left at the end of the third quarter.
Yeah.
Those are huge baskets. So if you can get a basket here, cut it to 3, maybe 2. That's a major difference.
And it was a game full of stars for the ACU women's basketball game. Maddie
that
Miller,
was
Aspen
wild.
Thornton, putting the pressure on, you know, guys like Cameron Steele and Emmanuel Allen to rise up to that stardom. They're having a little friendly competition between the programs.
5 even, 5 on the clock. Got to get it in somewhere. Here is Williams. He is called for the charge with 2.8. This first half does not want to end, I'm telling you. We're holding on to every second and every 10th of a second. The charge here on Williams, taken by Jackson.
That's a second on the night. Jay-Sean Jackson, someone who's learning the system a lot more and doing those little things.
Deflected, loose. Daniel's going to throw it up awkwardly. That'll take us to the end of the first half. Abilene Christian 30 and Southern Utah 25. Entertaining first half. We've got the halftime coming up after this. Well, a 5-point low-scoring affair. Abilene Christian in front of Southern Utah, entertaining first half of action. Second half coming up in just a moment. Hey, welcome courtside, everybody. Zach Carlisle with Joseph Chapa. Glad to have you with us tonight. This has been a really fun first half. I was curious to see what style would win out. So far, Abilene Christian, low-scoring first half, up by 5.
And that's what ACU had to do, is take the tempo, take the pace out of Southern Utah's hands. We're seeing already, even though it is a very close and low-scoring game, Southern Utah is being frustrated with not having the tempo and their style of play in their hands. Let's see what happens here in a scrappy second half.
Well, as we take a look at the numbers of the first half, it's the first half stats brought to you by First Bank Texas. The field goal makes it the same, 16 difference though. ACU 16 more shot attempts. And I just think they've really done a good job at kind of dictating what happens out there on the floor, and it starts on the defensive end as always.
Absolutely, Zach. That's exactly what jumped out to me. ACU, that's the game plan for success, is having way more shot opportunities than Southern Utah, because we know the numbers are on Southern Utah's side. And I just look at the three-point stats, 4 of 18 for ACU, 0 of 6 for Southern Utah. And I wonder if and when Southern Utah starts to sink those triples, what type of game will we be in? I think Coach Brett Tanner and the crew talked about that in the locker room and said, hey, look, it is very close. We've done our job. We've, crossed our T's and dotted our I's, but it's so close that Southern Utah can come back at any given moment.
I mean, I think there was a lot of big players in the first half, maybe none more than Cameron Steele, 10 points off the bench for Abilene Christian. He really provided a big spark. Allen had 8 for ACU. No one with more than 6 for Southern Utah, and it was Jones. Who else would it be? Jones with 6 for the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, and for Southern Utah, getting the ball in the hands of your playmakers, like you alluded to, 6 points. Again, that's not something that you want heading in to the start of the second half, but for ACU, you have Arion Simmons, who early on and with foul trouble, and Ali Diba as well. But, those little things put the pressure on ACU in the rotation patterns. But, again, new half, let's see what they do here.
Both teams with their original 5 starters. Let's do this. Should be an exciting final 20 minutes. Away we go with the second half. ACU starts with it, and they start with an offensive foul. Illegal screen. Hunter Jack Madden, his first foul of the game.
Tough screen right there. Again, when you're setting the pick for your teammate, just nice and still, but one of those things where you move and put a little contact at the defender. Easy call by the referees.
Got that 6'11" Spurgeon. 2 points in the first half with 4 rebounds. Jones lines one up and cashes it home.
And we saw Hunter Jack Madden. That was a beautiful contest, hand in Jones's eyes. But again, greater offense beats great defense, and that's just, we saw it there on display.
Pleasant to work. Hunter Jack Madden. Is there a foul or out of bounds? It's a foul on Southern Utah.
Again, getting the ball in the hands of your best playmakers. Nice step back dribble. Hunter Jack Madden using his length to contest, hand in the eyes. And Jones says, that's not enough, man. 9 points for me.
Sometimes 6'7" is just bigger than 6'2",
Oh, yeah.
A lot of length. We've talked about it throughout the night for Southern Utah, even at the guard spot. Here's Jackson. Foul off the ball. Couple of quick ones on the Thunderbirds. It's on Williams. Martell Williams, number 33, the redshirt freshman, called for foul number 3 already. Him and Fawcett have 3 each for the Thunderbirds. 10 on the shot clock for Daniels. Sticks that one from mid-range.
A shot that will always be there in all of college basketball. The mid-range, the floater, the runner. Damian Daniels decides to settle for the pull-up jumper. 8 points for his Wildcats team thus far.
Southern Utah led 6-5. Remember, they scored the first few points early. They haven't led since. It's been all Abilene Christian since then. Williams on the attack, gonna get it back, blocked from behind. 3rd chance, 4th chance, no good. This is a pinball. It popcorned out of there somehow, I don't know.
I'm sure we'll get our invite to the block party soon.
Allen, did he get fouled? Yes, he did. Boy, 2 minutes into this half. It's already the 3rd foul, Southern Utah. Let's go back to the defensive end.
Again, driving baseline, great help defense by Ja'Shawn Jackson. Beautiful swat. Emmanuel Allen just hopscotch jumping everyone wearing the gray uniforms for ACU. Again, crashing the glass because you are so undersized that you can't just regularly have 2-3 players crashing the rebounds. You got to have at least 4 players, maybe even your whole team.
Fresh 20 after the foul. Already 3 of them in 2 minutes for Southern Utah. Sean Jackson and company. Late shot clock again for ACU. Do they have a play with 5? Pleasant straight away. Cashes it home.
We saw it in the first half, the pick and roll between Daniels and Pleasant. Well, instead, Pleasant pops. Again, it's a little ghost action, popping out to the 3-point line. He can hurt you from deep and inside. And Pleasant with a nice 3.
Foul at this end.
Foul called on the Wildcats on
Damian Daniels called for his second personal. Back to the Pleasant 3.
Again, it started off with a nice screen and roll. Daniels just staying patient, reading the shot clock, reading Pleasant, and 2-shot ready.
Another close miss for the Thunderbirds. That one from Spurgeon. Now on to drive. Williams, look at this. How is the ball not going in? This is crazy.
A lot of missed opportunities for the Thunderbirds, but it gives a chance for ACU not to question it, but just to capitalize on those misses.
ACU is up to a 7-point lead. Late shot clock again. Pleasant short corner, 3. It's Daniels. Late shot clock. Spurgeon clears.
And the floor looked a little bit shrunk right there. Great job by the Southern Utah defense to get under late clock possession from ACU.
Daniels defends Allen, and there's Spurgeon fouled.
Again, great drive right there. Spurgeon going up with the layup. Manu Allen tries to say, meet me at the rim, but gets called for the shooting foul there. And Jason Spurgeon, a trip to the foul line. The 7-foot, well, I should say near 7-footer, 6'11", but I'll be nice, you know, it's the season of giving here in January, so he's very tall.
So Jones hit that early 3 here in the half for Southern Utah. It's been a 3-minute, 7-second scoring drought since. Unable to convert anything, and they'll have a chance at the line here. I'm not sure if there's a timeout called. No, rather, they are going to the replay. Not quite sure what they're reviewing. Are they going to see if there's a goaltend on this foul?
Yeah, I think that's something you look at. You look at maybe
It's all I can think of, really.
Yeah, offensive contact. Maybe it was clean. I mean, just looking back at the replay for reassurance.
Could be the clock, too.
Yeah, and we saw that plenty of times in the first half as well, so we'll just have to wait and tune in.
And really, I'm guessing, because I'm not sure what they're looking at, the review.
Looked like
Well,
Allen got a piece of the
yeah.
arm.
I don't know if they're trying to see if there's anything more than that. Try to go in, and Allen fouled him. If anything, we need to reset the shot clock. Well, we're going to find out what they're taking a look at in just a little bit. It's a timeout on the floor. We'll take one with them. We'll sort it all out after the break. Abilene Christian in front by 7 in the second half.
I always dreamed of doing something that would make a difference, and so getting as much knowledge as possible was important to me. I love the fact that you can dream a new reality and then see it come true with hard work. Today, I know I'm making a difference, and a big part of seeing my dream come true was when I got my master's at ACU.
Get your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian.
Get ready for an entire week in WAC Vegas. More teams, more games. The 2023 Hercules Tires WAC Basketball Tournament. March 6th through the 11th at the Michelob Ultra Arena and the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. For ticket information, go to wacsports.com.
So Abilene Christian in front by 6. A lot to sort out there. There was a foul on the floor, was on Abilene Christian. Then there was a request to look for a potential hook and hold foul. A challenge of sorts was not added. They stuck with just the foul on the floor. Thus, they made that the media timeout because of that. And so after all of that, we're back to action. It stayed with what it was. It's a 5-point game. And as we approach 16 to go in the second half, Abilene Christian stays in front, 35-30. A lot to sort out there, but at the end of the day, they didn't add anything to what they called on the floor.
And great, just composure by the referees, and you can tell by the physicality and the toughness of this game that they're going to be probably reviewing a lot more as we get later in this half.
Out of bounds, that goes. Turnover for Abilene Christian. We haven't seen a lot of Arion Simmons. He's out there on the floor. 2 quick fouls in the first half off the bench. He's out there right now for ACU. They need him.
They absolutely do, and again, Arion Simmons is an all-around type of player, and again, you don't say that lightly. He can really impact you in anywhere from the floor, outside the box score. They need every bit of him tonight.
Here is Jones. Tevian, the step back, and a splash from downtown. Tevian Jones, incredible, he's got a dozen.
What a beautiful step back at that size and frame and quickness. I mean, that is just textbook. Great footwork by Tevian Jones.
Little jab step, that rims around. Friendly Moody roll for Joe Pleasant.
Another example of great footwork, Joe Pleasant getting it done in the mid-post. He is an underrated offensive option that ACU has to turn to when your plays don't really run well.
The baseline, there's a foul. That on Tobias Cameron.
That's his first of the game.
Here's the Pleasant basket that just circle. Washing machine.
Yeah, it's just that. I like that, Zach. That friendly Moody roll. You definitely got to use that more on. And for ACU, just trying to get more luck on their side, especially defensively.
Not a dinner roll or a cinnamon roll, though. That's what I have on my mind. Here come the Wildcats after the steal from Daniels. A little bit too cute. Trying to behind the back pass, a little too much. Turnover for Abilene Christian.
We've seen a lot of flashiness, especially from Damian Daniels, and now we saw from Tobias Cameron, but who can blame them? I mean, we've been able to see them get it done at that level, but just doing the simple things, not giving more offensive possessions to their opponent.
Jones, the hedge from steal. Williams on the attack. Martell Williams, strong finish.
And now Southern Utah's finding their rhythm here down two. ACU's got to find some answers.
Outscoring the Wildcats 10-7 in the second half. Simmons, he's been offline on a couple of threes. He's now 0 for 3 from distance. Off the window is Jones. Another one. He's got 14. And that is now the 58th double-digit game of his Southern Utah career.
Wow. I mean, just getting it done and just a prolific scorer that he is.
Chaos. That ball was loose. It's still pinballing around. Chance for these Thunderbirds. They'll get it to Williams. Timeout, Brett Tanner and Abilene Christian. ACU now trailing Southern Utah 6-0 run to take the lead. Southern Utah on a 6-0 run, and they have the lead for the first time since early in the first half. And their last basket here forced an Abilene Christian timeout.
Capitalizing on ACU's mistakes. That's what Southern Utah needed, the energy, the spark that they really needed to fly out here into the second half. For ACU, they needed this timeout to calm down and get back into the rhythm.
Cameron Steele in there to score it. When he comes in, he just scores. He's got 12.
Yeah, and again, after that timeout, Cameron Steele, we saw this in the first half, 10 first half points. You need a steady diet of Cameron Steele offensively to get back and extend this game.
Tie game here in the second half. That's a charge on Jones.
Offensive foul called on the Thunderbirds.
His third personal, Joseph.
Again, trying to attack Tobias Cameron one-on-one. Easy call right there. Great awareness by Tobias Cameron to pick up and give Jones his third personal foul. That's someone you don't want to see for Southern Utah, but he's still on the floor.
Charge at this end on Tobias Cameron. Bodies everywhere on the floor. Two Thunderbirds down still. Slow to get up is Allen and slow to get up is Butler. Charge at one end, charge at the other end. They may go look at this.
Damian Daniels feeding the ball to Tobias. Looked like Steele and just trying to set a screen. Just a lot of fluster there.
Now, actually, did they get Steele for that foul?
Yeah.
I think you could have called the foul on either guy, really. Cameron had the ball. He kind of lowered his shoulder. Defender went down, and then Steele made contact. And there's a lot to look at, and the refs are taking a peek at it right now.
And ACU now has 4 players with 2 fouls in the lineup. So these fouls are starting to pick up here in the second half. Let's see another opportunity for the referees to look back at the replay monitor and let us know what happened.
See if we can get a look at the play here in full. You see Cameron coming. Here comes Steele. There's that contact. There's that contact.
And that's
Pick which one you want. I don't know.
Yeah, it was, trying to rip over the swipe.
Yeah, you have the elbows of Cameron coming through.
And Cameron trying to set the screen right there. We see
There's
that.
and then
one.
there's this.
Yeah, and Southern Utah selling the contact too.
So I don't know if they're either picking one or they're going to add I don't know. It's a lot to discuss. See what the decision is in this 39-39 game. You got this one, Joseph?
Yes, sir, and it is ruled as a common foul. The referees looked at both instances. It was an illegal screen, and again, that swipe up and over, but he clarified that the elbows are legal, and they stood with the common foul there.
Okay, so after all that, Southern Utah has it after the turnover. 39 up in the second half. Fun game. Here's Butler. Jones, catch, shoot, offline, put back. Boy, around the rim's been challenging for the Thunderbirds. Fawcett finishes that one finally.
That's the first second chance points for Southern Utah. Definitely a team as tall as they are, you do not want to win the battle offensively in terms of offensive rebounds.
Cameron lost it. Got it back and scored it. Tobias Cameron, 6 points in his 16 minutes now on the floor.
We're starting to see the physicality and the chippiness pick up between these teams. I mean, edge of the seat type of basketball game.
Just a one-arm sling to the corner there from Allen. There's a lot happening. On a drive, it is a loose ball, but a foul. Foul on Allen, Emmanuel Allen of ACU. And it takes us to a timeout. We are deadlocked at 41. How fun is this second half going to be? Stay with us.
Get ready for an entire week in WAC Vegas. More teams, more games. The 2023 Hercules Tires WAC Basketball Tournament. March 6th through the 11th at the Michelob Ultra Arena and the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. For ticket information, go to wacsports.com.
The world needs more light bringers and courageous leaders who inspire us, game changers and risk takers who never play small, creative thinkers and God seekers who uplift us. You see, the future is ours to create. We hold it in our hearts. We mold it with our hands. We light the fire within.
So thanks again for playing, Aubrey, in today's Mighty.
We are even at 41 in the second half. Southern Utah and ACU, first ever meeting between these two schools. It's their only one in a regular season. They may potentially meet in Vegas in March, but I'm liking what I'm seeing. These are low-scoring, contrasting styles. This one's been a fun one tonight.
And heading into this game, it was an incredible offense versus an incredible defense, and now ACU has neutralized as much as they can for Southern Utah offensively, their tempo and pace, and now it is getting to a street fight that Coach Brett Tanner and his ball club is really familiar with. A lot of basketball left to be played, but who's going to turn over the ball the most? Who's going to rebound the basketball offensively the most? Those are the things that kind of stand out to me to be different in this ball game.
What I like about this game, too, is that there are veterans on both sides. 8 upperclassmen for Southern Utah, 8 upperclassmen for Abilene Christian. Those are two pretty veteran teams. You know, they don't know each other very well, but they just kind of know what to expect over the course of 40 minutes. Here's Harrison Butler at the line, the senior out of California, COVID senior, his 140th game tonight. 1,200-point scorer in his career. What a ride it's been for him with the Thunderbird program. The lead again for Southern Utah. Cameron catch and shoot. We have seen 28 points so far total in the second half. That's a jump ball and the arrow to the Thunderbirds.
Well, let's take a look. Cameron, no good on the three. Pleasant attacking the offensive glass, but then never got full possession of it. The jump ball goes the other way.
ACU 1 for 5 from 3 here in the second half. We have a foul at this end. It is on Cameron of ACU, and that's his third.
A lot of players in foul trouble for ACU with 11:29 left.
Rather the second on Cameron, rather.
Yes, check that. And again, the rotations are getting shorter and shorter for ACU, especially in these key moments. Someone look out for Arion Simmons, still scoreless on the night, 0 of 4 from the field, 0 of 3 from distance. You got to get him going to come back with some energy in this ball game.
Tevian Jones at the line because of this foul here on number 11. Yep, got that little bit of a leg stuck out. Southern Utah trying to pull off maybe one of their largest leads of the game. They've not been able to get in front by much. Their largest lead of 4 was when they led 4-0. Now they lead by 3 here in the second half. Southern Utah trying to salvage a road split in Texas. foul first.
Foul called
Not
on
a
the
jump ball,
Thunderbirds.
it is a
Number 15,
foul.
Harrison Butler, that's his third of the game.
Harrison Butler called for his
Team foul
third
number
personal.
6 on Southern Utah.
So free throws coming
At the
for
line,
Pleasant.
Joe Pleasant for 2.
Bonus the rest of the way. We got 11 minutes still. Pleasant, a senior out of Overland Park, Kansas. His story, pretty well documented. Started at ACU, was an NCAA tournament hero. Transferred to Wichita State in his home state of Kansas. Played there for a year, decides to come back, didn't love his role there. He is now thriving once again. Injured at the beginning of the season, starts fresh. He's back with the Wildcats, and Emmanuel Allen's gonna go to the line here after the foul inside, but Mace and Fawcett slow to get up.
And to your point about Joe Pleasant, again, well-documented story. And he's getting it done offensively as well, getting his teammates involved. Emmanuel Allen, another player similar to Pleasant, who score in the mid-range and off the dribble. And if you're Coach Brett Tanner, Coach Bostic, Coach Crash, you got to look at your key players to generate some offensive looks in a game where it's just getting wire to wire with 11 minutes left.
Fawcett leaves with four fouls. And Martell Williams checks in, but he's got 3 fouls tonight. So there's quite a bit to talk about in terms of foul trouble. Butler also has 3 for Southern Utah. Allen's got 3 for ACU. And then 6 players have 2 fouls for the Wildcats. It's getting a little crazy here. We're knotted up at 44 again. It's our 5th tie tonight. Change that. Allen is able to score it. Back at 4th we go in the second half as we approach the halfway point. Pleasant. Not much movement here. 12 seconds to shoot it. Diva, no good.
And that's the difference in the second half for ACU. Not running a lot of motion, maybe a little one-on-one ball. Look for ACU to move the basketball better to generate some offensive looks.
Ball's loose. Daniels comes up with it. There's that defense. Thunderbirds get back, however. Now Diva inside finishes that one home.
Someone for ACU averaging 15 points per game in conference play, 4 points on the night. You have to get your players going in for ACU. Southern Utah has done a great job at that with Jones, 16 points. What can ACU do to match that?
Step back, it's Jones. Have a night.
I mean, that is just mastery. The step back Jay, he's probably hit that time and time again from distance and in the mid-range.
Simmons to answer no. Tevye and Jones, 19 points for Southern Utah. Drake Allen in transition again. He's got 8 for the Thunderbirds now. Here they come, kind of moving the ball up and down the floor.
We said at halftime you were hearing the footsteps of Southern Utah. Well, we hear them loud and clear.
Allen, offensive. It's a charge on Allen, and for Emmanuel Allen, it's foul number 4.
And that's team foul number 8 on ACU.
Well, let's see it here. Ayon Simmons, post-entry pass, a low block.
And for the Wildcats, number 5.
And Jones was ready. Jones was ready to draw that foul from Allen. Knowing or whether not knowing, he had 4. And Allen heads to the bench with 10 points on the night. Perfect from the free throw line. The rotation's getting thinner and thinner for the Wildcats in these crucial moments.
Tobias Cameron coming back out for ACU. Ball tapped free. Turnover.
It'll be ACU ball.
Turnover on the Thunderbirds.
Driving baseline, looking for that left-hand kick, and it's just did not go the way. Tobias Cameron making sure.
Southern Utah thought the ball was tipped. Are they gonna get a discussion? Well, yeah, they're gonna look. They're gonna go see who tapped the ball out of bounds. What do we think?
As we slow it down, looks like Arion gets a finger on it.
Was it deflected after that?
Oh, that's hard to
close.
tell.
That might have gone off Simmons. I don't know if there's another angle there. That was close. It's hard to tell who that came off of initially, and then after that, was it touched again? See, spinning. That's close. That might have been off of Simmons.
Yeah, because you can see the finger touch the basketball.
They're gonna stick with the call on the floor, which was ACU ball. So they're gonna keep that the ruling. So they're gonna say off of Southern Utah last. Could have made an argument that that went off of Simmons last, but nonetheless, here come the Wildcats down 5. Every possession matters now, doesn't it? Under 9 to go. Up and under, it's an and one for Tobias Cameron.
For a possession that mattered, Tobias Cameron, our impact player of the night. Nice, oop, nope, I'm going up and under. Cameron, 8 points on the night, a trip to the foul line once again. Need to get someone like him going for ACU.
Tobias
Hoop in the arm
and shooting the and one.
Cameron to the line, his 6th year at Abilene Christian. All 32 rather of his starts have come in each of the last 2 seasons. His role has evolved greatly. And he is a complete player for ACU. Gets a 3-point play there. That one stripped from Jones. It'll stay at this end. Plenty of time on the shot clock for the Thunderbirds, who are now shooting 54% for the game. Steele goes down, flop. That's a flop on Cameron Steele.
And we have a flop called on the Wildcats on Cameron Steele.
Yep, they're gonna call him for the flop, which is a technical foul free throw coming down for Jones. That rule implemented here in college basketball to eliminate the flop underneath. They're calling Steele 4-1. Goes down as a technical. And Tevian Jones hits a free throw. That's one of those new rules that's been a point of emphasis in college hoops.
Yeah, it's just making the game a lot cleaner, and you know, you can argue safer, you can argue a lot of things, but the referees did a great job with the call there.
Into the paint, Williams got it.
Williams
3 big points.
Yeah, Williams was close there. It looked like he was playing Just Dance as he dribbled that a little, maybe a travel violation, but again, our eyes may not be the best fresh pair of eyes, but what we can say is that ACU needs to find some offensive electricity.
Deba with an and one. 3 consecutive trips combined for 3-point play chances.
We talked about it in the first half. Getting to the foul line a lot more. ACU now going to the line for their 12th time. And Ali Deba, again, 8 points on the season, 15 points in conference play. Very impressive stats. Transfer from Chicago State. Just getting the job done. Now needs to stay consistent for the Wildcats.
2-point game again. Now Jones, 55's taking over. He's got a 20-point night. Williams, did he walk with it? No, it's a charge. It's off the ball, and it's on Fala. Takes us to a timeout. Southern Utah by a deuce. Jones having a night. Back to Abilene in a moment. 2-point game, under 8 to go. Inching closer to crunch time. You can just sense it on the floor. Each possession amps it up, the intensity a little bit.
The intensity, the physicality, the tenacity. I mean, I could take a vocabulary class and come up with so much more to describe this game.
3-syllable words.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the most high caliber level words I've said in a single sentence. I mean, again, learning from, you know, intellectual broadcasters like you, my friend, and adding that to my repertoire. But again, for ACU, the physicality has to increase to come up with a W in this game.
Physicality. They're talking 5 syllables there. Getting up there. No good on that trip. Here comes Southern Utah with up by 2. Oh, nice feed inside, and then the left hand for Fala. No good. I mean, there's been a lot of chances close to the basket for the Thunderbirds tonight. Steele turning, scoring, tie game.
14 points for Steele, 5 of 7 on the night from the field. Big-time players showing big-time moments. The crowd here at Moody Coliseum standing up. Cameron Steele and ACU, what can you do?
Jones want his big moment. He's had them all season. Oh, to the deck he goes. He walked with it.
That's Jones's 4th turnover on the night. And credit to Coach Tanner making the matchup change. Ali Deba on Jones, but we see Cameron Steele. We saw triples in the first half, but then we also saw that easy textbook jump hook.
So now that turnover is the 19th of the game for Southern Utah. Now Arion Simmons trying to give ACU the lead. Oh, he does. Rimmed home.
And his first points of the night. He does it on a difficult shot. You see Damian Daniels telling the crowd to get loud. This is when ACU gets on a run.
This place is going crazy. Inside the foul, Spurgeon trying to silence the Moody Madness. The foul on Cameron Steele, that is his 3rd personal. Free throws coming for Jason Spurgeon.
And this is what the newly renovated Moody Coliseum does for ACU. Yeah, it is a very nice place to play, but it creates a hostile environment for great teams like Southern Utah to come into town and play.
Spurgeon, a 75% free throw shooter. No good on the first. That's his first missed free throw of the game. 4 points tonight. Make it 5 now as he gets the second to make it a 1-point ball game. What a second half, 6-minute mark. Low scoring affair here in Abilene, Texas. Simmons, well deep. Arion Simmons 0 for 5 from 3-point range here tonight.
I'm trying to find a shooting touch.
Jones had it deflected. Steele. No numbers for Daniels. Pleasant to work inside. ACU back in front by 3.
No field goals for the Thunderbirds in the last 3 minutes. It's been a game of runs here in the second half. ACU's got the momentum.
Foul at this end, it's on Daniels. His 3rd, back to the Pleasant basket.
Well, again, operating on the left side block. 2 power dribbles. Nice positioning, Joe Pleasant. Classic, getting it done. 8 points on the night. 4 rebounds as well, so a lot of activity for the Wildcats who can score in bunches, but also affect you in different ways.
Drake Allen, a sophomore out of Eagle Mountain, Utah. First year with the Thunderbirds after being a JUCO second-team All-American last year at Snow College. Hits a pair to get it back to 1. This has been so much fun. Southern Utah really doing it at the free throw line. Daniels, no good, and now the Thunderbirds a chance to go back in front. They've made 5 of their last 6 field goals, but they don't have a field goal in the last 3 minutes. It's a foul on Simmons at this end. His 3rd.
And for the Thunderbirds, trying to play at a quicker tempo, but ACU still maintaining that slow pace. We see it there, Arion Simmons trying to draw a charge from Butler, but
That felt like the right call.
yeah, I mean, the referees have done a great job thus far. Going back and reviewing those 50-50 balls takes a lot of patience and time, and trips to the foul line since the 11-minute mark when both teams entered the bonus. It's been a slow game here in the middle of it.
No good for Butler. Harrison Butler, the senior out of California. If he makes this one, well, we'll wait. He did. All right, so not only has he tied the game, but Butler has now made 300 free throws in his career.
The big
Bit of a
300.
milestone.
And I'm glad you waited, because we've seen earlier, like I commentator curse that Cameron Steele 3. I know you want to be very generous for him to get that achievement, so it's very, very, very nice.
Daniels has the ball, by the way. His next assist, his 400th of his career. Pretty special. We're even up at 58. 4.5 to go. Diba, yes.
And he's a shot creator, and again, ACU running the steady diet of the screen and roll between Daniels and Pleasant, or Daniels and Steele, and it affects everyone out on the floor.
Oh, Jones way out there. He's going to shoot three. The foul on Diba. No one in this building likes that call. Diba called for personal foul number 3. It's going to put Tevian Jones at the line for 3 foul shots.
That was in the act of shooting 3 at the line. Shooting 3 for the Thunderbirds, number 55.
4:08 to go. Free throw good. 2 more coming. Let's take a look.
Well, Tevian Jones sizing his defender up right there, length against length, and it has its pros and cons, and we see it there. Too much of a contest from Ali Diba.
So that one ties it. 1 more. Jones. A 23-point night for Tevian Jones.
Entering the game for the Thunderbirds, number 12, Mason Clarkson.
Jones double digits in every game this year except for Thursday. 9 points at Tarleton. That's how good he's been, and that's what that Tarleton defense did to Southern Utah on Thursday. Steele thought he was going to launch that one. Instead, it's a foul, and Pleasant is going to head to the line. We got 3:41 to go in a 1-point game. What a finish we have on this Saturday night coming up. (61-60). Southern Utah by a point as we go back and forth in this one. I mean, you're talking 4 lead changes, 9 ties tonight. And Joe Pleasant at the line to add to those numbers to try to tie it and take the lead.
A lot of runs in this game. I mean, now currently Southern Utah, no field goals in the last 5 minutes. Back and forth type of affair, physicality on both ends, 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Now, go grab your popcorn, your candy, your drink, and watch another mid-major game down to the wire.
One of the great games in the WAC so far this year. Second weekend of the conference schedule. Coming to a close tonight. It's a charge on Drake Allen, much to the dislike of head coach Todd Simon.
The Drake Allen's 5th turnover on the night, trying to attack the smaller Damian Daniels. Southern Utah has been trying to do that all night long, but how to combat that for ACU? Now the question was, the $1 million question was, how does ACU try to come up with the deficit of the size disadvantage? Well, you see it there, creating turnovers in Southern Utah. He's got 21 of those.
Approaching 3 to go. Abilene Christian by 1. They have not lost at home in their newly renovated arena. Allen, no good. Southern Utah trying to pull off a road win. On a drive, on the attack, is that an and one? Does it count? Haven't heard a signal yet. Mason Fawcett. It counts, and one.
Well, beating Joe Pleasant, blowing by off the dribble, and Damian Daniels questioned the decision there again. Might have to go back and look if he was outside the restricted arc or not, but usually Damian Daniels or an ACU player would take a charge there, so question of why the swipe, that's kind of questionable.
So now the Thunderbirds back in front by a pair. A much higher scoring second half. 39-32 Southern Utah in the second half tonight. Daniels kind of fading away. Tough shot. No good. Spurgeon with the rebound. And now this end to decide the game, potentially 2.5. Abilene Christian needs a stop. Southern Utah, the strength of their team.
And look
their
at the
offense.
coverage that Jones is getting here with Daniels and with him.
Allen blocked that one, but then the foul after that, it went right to the arms of Spurgeon, and the foul on Steele.
Well, there it is. Emmanuel Allen tried to get it. Saw it there. Another foul for Cameron Steele. But, you know, we saw in the half-court setting, Jones just on an island with Damian Daniels, and that's 6'7" versus 5'7". And again, I mean, just the size disadvantage for ACU, just trying to force some more turnovers here late.
Look at this. I mean, that's another 1 out of 2 at the line. Southern Utah has missed 11 free throws tonight. It's a team that shoots at 73% as a team from the line for the season. Spectacular free throw shooting team. Not tonight. Steele turns, scores. We got a 1-point game again, 2 minutes left.
Everything Cameron Steele touches turns to gold, and that gold is more buckets for ACU.
Oh, they tried to get Jones. They tried to get him in flight for the takeoff. He was able to kind of save the possession, though, without turning it over. 12 on the timer. Turning, it's no, but then the tap back. Tap back in. Mason Fawcett to go back in front by 3.
And ACU's winning the second chance points battle, but when it matters the most, Southern Utah gets them.
Blocking foul here. You saw Simmons extend just a bit, but it is a blocking foul. It's on Spurgeon, and it's his 4th personal.
Spurgeon with 4, Butler with 4, and for on the opposite end, Daniels with 4, Steele with 4, Allen with 4. So we're playing with a lot of high stakes here between both of these teams. Can't get too physical now if you're some of these players.
Wildcats still in the double bonus.
Minute 24 will be Arion Simmons at the line.
Shots.
So Simmons was on the drive. He is good on the first. Wow. So here it's him driving. Spurgeon defending.
Using that left shoulder, but in the block
a
area.
moving Spurgeon,
some moving
too.
Spurgeon, and it'd be different if he was planted again. So another great call and a great replay by our ACUTV crew.
Second one, no good. Simmons barely made the first. That one needed all of the bounce. 1:17 to go. Southern Utah by a deuce. Biggest possession here. A defensive battle, but the Thunderbirds trying to close it out. Jones.
1 minute.
Step back, the defender in the air, and Jones buries one!
Jones for 3.
Tevian Jones, and the lead is 5. Cameron through, he'll score it. Timeout, Abilene Christian with 47 seconds, just shy of. But the play of the night from Tevian Jones, he's incredible.
Oh man, incredible with a bunch of exclamation marks. We see it there. That's an NBA type of shot. Off balance fade away three. I mean, 26 points for Jones. And, you know, again, the matchup is different. You have Ali Diva matched up against the 6'7 Jones, but pump fake, get him in the air, and easy three. We see it here with Tobias Cameron, our impact player of the night. 2 impact players of the night on both ends, scoring for their respective teams. Tobias Cameron showing up when it matters most for ACU.
Jones was recruited and initially started at Illinois. Plays there for a couple of years. Big Ten basketball for a great program. Then comes to Southern Utah, and wow, he is something else. 26 points for Jones. Three-point Thunderbird lead, and they want one more basket to try to close it out on the road. And here we go. Jones on Diba. That's been the matchup all night. A 16-second difference between game and shot clock. Here goes Jones. 3 to shoot it, turning, good again! Oh my goodness, he's a wizard! Up 5, that's an and one for Diva, we're not done yet.
When Jones gets a great look, looks like ACU gets an even better look on that end. Just 2 masterclass performances. I mean, a fadeaway jumper looking like.
He's insane.
Oh, man.
But then Diva right away too.
Yeah, he says, okay, that is really cool, guys. That's a 5-star performance on that end. Well, I'll make it a 6-star performance on my end. And mano a mano here, ACU needs a difference maker offensively. Another stop defensively against Jones.
This is wild. That's big, because if this goes back to 2, then you at least force Southern Utah to make free throws after a foul. 13 seconds. It's a big response there from Diva, but boy, Jones is just clutch. 5 consecutive huge points in back-to-back possessions. Diva with a big one to make it a 2-point game. And if they don't get a steal, they have to foul. They'll get it in, and Fawcett is fouled by Pleasant. And so with 11.9, Mason Fawcett to the line. He's been a good free throw shooter this year.
80%. You know, someone you do not want to send to the foul line, but like you laid it out perfectly in this scenario, you have to. For Cameron Steele checking back in the game no matter what happens, assuming you get the rebound, you're going to go back on the offensive end, and who better than your leading scorer for the Wildcats, Cameron Steele, 16 points, getting ready to check back in.
First one, good. Southern Utah's missed 11 foul shots tonight, but this one is the big one. Right now it's a 3-point game. This to stretch it to 4. Abilene Christian with 1 timeout left. It's no good. 11 seconds, down 3. Here's the game. Oh, Southern Utah, genius to foul. Daniels tried to launch one up to make it a shooting foul. So they foul him with 6.6, and it'll be 2 free throws for Daniels. Really good coaching from Todd Simon.
Again, one of the best in the mid-major business. That was really close, maybe trying to get it on the launch, but staying on the deck. 2 fouls for Damian Daniels.
It's got to be in the act of shooting, and he definitely sensed the foul, then turned in to try to make it. So there's 1. Second one coming for Daniels.
Number 33, Martell Williams.
One of these teams trying to get to 3-1 through the first 4 games of WAC play. Back to a 1-point game. Pleasant is in.
Entering for the Thunderbirds, number 10, that's Cameron.
Southern Utah with 3 timeouts at their disposal. Abilene Christian has 1. Allen can run the length of the baseline. Anywhere to go, got it in. Who's it off of? It's off of ACU, but my guess is they're going to look at it. The call on the floor is Southern Utah ball. We will see. This game is chaos. All right, who's this off of?
Well, Tobias Cameron denying the basketball. We're slowing it down. Looks like the referee's in the way on that end, but he gets a hand on it.
Did it touch Cameron at the end? I don't know. That might be ACU ball. Oh my goodness. See if we can get another look at it. That initially looked like off of Southern Utah. There's got to be enough. Question is, does it then touch Cameron's hand?
Let's look at his hand.
That's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Remember, the call on the floor is Southern Utah ball. There has to be enough to change it. That's where it starts. That first look, it appeared off of Southern Utah, but the question is, did it touch Cameron at the end?
Yeah, because it goes off of who touched it last. And
So right here, it's off of Southern Utah. Does it touch Cameron there?
oh, that's so hard to tell.
There has to be enough to change the call. Ruling was initially Southern Utah ball. The players are out here, but they're not going to play yet. The officials are still at the monitor. There has to be enough to change it. Again, initially they signal Thunderbird ball. Who is this off of? That's tough.
You can
See if they get one more. See, right here it's off of
Southern Utah.
Healy. And then does it touch Cameron there? That's the question. I don't know. I don't know if that touches him. And because I don't know, they may stick with call on the floor.
Yeah.
Here is the decision. I just don't know if there's enough to change this. They are going to stick with the call on the floor. I just not enough. I think if they ever had a microphone, I think they would do what they do in football, right? And they would say the ruling on the field stands.
Yeah.
Ruling on the court stands. I don't think there was enough. So now 5.6. Here it is again. Lob it, foul. Boy, that was dangerous to the basket at this end. Going up and getting it like a tight end was Fawcett. Foul called by Emmanuel Allen. Allen called for the foul, and he has fouled out of the game, by the way.
Had to get that foul out, and again, ACU.
So 4.9. So 1/10 under 5 to go. They're going to go to the replay, and all they're going to look at is to check the time. That's all they are going to look at. Just to double check to make sure they're good on the clock. It's a foul on Allen, and it's going to put Fawcett back at the line. What a wild game this has been. It's lived up to the billing.
The wild, wild game and the wild, wild whack, and we're seeing it here very early on in the new year in 2023. Still a lot of ball left for ACU to make a difference here against Southern Utah, but Fawcett to the line, 80% from the charity stripe. Let's see what he can do.
A wacky game? Can we pun that?
Oh yeah, that's gold star.
First and only dad joke of the broadcast season. 2 huge free throws again. Fawcett is 2 for 4 tonight at the line. Again, we mentioned he's an 80% free throw shooter. No good. Whoa. 5.3. ACU's got a timeout. So no matter what, it'll be at least a 2-point game. 2-point game. Timeout, Abilene Christian. Their last of the game. And just when you think the game's going to end with back-to-back baskets from Jones, it's not over yet. ACU's going to have one more crack at it. And again, it's missed free throws. 13 misses at the line tonight for Southern Utah.
And those misses, this is when these missed free throws come back and bite you in scenarios like this where you could have been up way bigger, close out this game a lot quicker, but now ACU down to 5.3 seconds left. I say this to you, Zach, again, looking at Coach Tanner's play sheet, you look at Cameron Steele, the leading scorer of the game, 6 of 8 from the field, 2 of 4 from distance. I mean, you can draw up a 3-level play either for a 3 or for a midi or a low post entry, maybe a lob backdoor action. So again, looking for Cameron Steele or maybe Ali Deba, who picked up some momentum in the second half. Tobias Cameron, you can never go wrong, his 6th year in the purple and white. So you've got some options. It just comes down to the execution.
And it comes down to you have to get it up the floor, too.
Yeah.
With 5 seconds, that's where Daniels and his speed comes
and
in.
his vision and just his patience just to read the pressuring defense from Southern Utah, because you know Southern Utah with their length, with their athleticism, they're going to make it a pain for the 5'7" Daniels to advance the ball.
5.3. A 2 ties it, a 3 wins it. They're going to let it get up there. Here's Daniels. Oh, he lost the ball. He lost the ball. And the clock is going to run out. And Southern Utah survives and wins it on the road. 74-72. What a huge win for the Thunderbirds.
Huge win for the Thunderbirds. When it seemed like their offense was neutralized, they came back and fight. ACU in you know, just coming back in the second half, and just a beautiful performance from Southern Utah, even defensively, and crashing the glass as well.
That was a fun game, partner.
It
That lived up to the bill.
It was a great doubleheader today, and again, ACU Southern Utah getting into that wacky Western Athletic Conference. I mean, it's just a great classic game here tonight.
This has been a presentation of the Western Athletic Conference on ESPN. All games airing on the ESPN networks or streaming live and archive on the ESPN app. Southern Utah wins it on the road. Zach Carlisle, Joseph Chapa, Hutton Harris, and the gang saying so long, take care, good night from Abilene, Texas.